Are you feeling stuck in your business, professional or personal life? Or are you struggling to find purpose and direction? Imagine having a clear sense of direction, achieving your goals and living a fulfilling life. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult is here to help you. We will work with you to identify your strengths, overcome obstacles, and develop a personalized plan to achieve your dreams. With our coaching and consulting services, you will gain clarity, confidence, and the tools you need to succeed. Do not let fear, lack of clarity, or doubt hold you back any longer. Take the first step towards achieving your goals and living your best life. Contact Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult today. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult, empowering you to reach your full potential. Call, SMS, or WhatsApp +234 704 229 1171. Or you can visit our website www.joyonyesohcoachingconsult.com.
An amazing month. Yes, it is October, a month of
victory, a month of favor, a month of overcoming, a month of abundance. So words of affirmation are very powerful, and I want you to use them as much as possible. Now we go into the conversation on coping with stress and anxiety. Doctors will always tell us that stress is a silent killer. You know, stress, sometimes we're stressed up. It affects our mechanism, it affects our behavior, it affects the decisions we make, it affects everything around us. And if you don't recognize the signs, when it starts building up, you can get to the point of being burnt out. And without knowing that you're stressed up, you can even gradually become, becoming depressed. Because a whole lot, you start losing the joy, the meaning of life. And that's why we have to watch it. Stress. We have to really watch it. With what is happening today, is difficult really not to be stressed out. So I would say, oh, you cannot, you wouldn't have any form of stress. Oh, you would, because with the way life is going right now, in fact, if you're living in Lagos, that's already a stress by itself. You know, having to wake up. If you live in Lagos and you work at the island and you're living in mainland, oh my goodness, that's a stressor. So you know you'll be stressed. So how do you manage that stress? How do you cope with the stress? What are your coping strategies? That's some of what we'll be discussing today. Then anxiety as well. You know, anxiety is beyond fear, because anxiety is long-term, where you become so worked up, you're so scared, you're so anxious over things that sometimes it makes you so panicky. It affects your quality of life. It takes away your sleep. It takes away the way you react with people, the way you show up. You have anxiety attacks most times. You know, your heart will start beating, start palpitating. Every little thing makes you feel jumpy. That's not a way to live. So if you're going through that now, tonight we're going to also discuss how do we cope with this stress and how do we cope with anxiety. That being established now, that we know stress, we would have stress from day to day. Sometimes in some situations will give us enough stress. Like if you're planning for a wedding, you're planning for a burial of a loved one. So, you know, a number of things. You have health issues, you would experience some form of stress. But when it is long term, then it becomes very dangerous. So the conversation tonight will help us to reflect, find out what works for us, and then we see the coping strategies we can put in place from tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. For some of us, we need to have the strategy in place like yesterday, you know. So how do we cope with stress? Now, the first thing I want to start off with saying is you need to even recognize that you're stressed. So identify what is giving you stress. This is you being in tune with reality. Sometimes we live in denial. Identify what it is that is causing you stress. It could be your value system. I will start from that bit and then we walk, inwards. Now, for some of us, we unnecessarily place burdens on ourselves. Now, you're so occupied with putting out a certain image that doesn't represent who you are, that doesn't represent your identity. So you struggle to fit into that image or that box you have created for yourself because you want external validation. You want people to see you in certain ways, right? And then you want to show up in a certain way, which is not in tune with your reality. So every day of your life is a stress. Waking up is stressful because you're already thinking, how do I even show up today? Now you have a certain kind of class you want to fit into. You want people to feel that, oh, you are like this, you've arrived, you've this, or you are part of the Pepper Dem gang, or you want to buy so much Ashebi, or you want to put your kids in school that you know is something you can't comfortably afford because this is a school season, people are going back to school, right? So a whole lot of things. So this is your lifestyle really causing you issues. Your value system and your lifestyle causing you distress. This one really is a mindset thing, first of all. You need to deconstruct that mindset and tell yourself the truth. When you grow, certain resources comes to you effortlessly. And when those resources come to you effortlessly, you don't need to pretend to be who you are not. People that will love you for who you are. You don't need to force people to love you or to show up for you. So people will love you for being you. And the truth is, the problem starts with wanting everyone to like you, to love you, to show up for you, to identify with you. Once you can get comfortable with the fact that no matter how nice you are, no matter how wealthy you think you are, no matter how poor you think you are, there are certain kind of people that will love and appreciate you for who you are. And there are still certain people who will not. I think that is the starting point for you to know, listen, I just have to be authentic. I just have to show up for who I am. You don't need to impress anyone. Once you start living your life true to who you are, that is not to say you can't be ambitious. That is not to say you cannot yearn or want more. But why you dream so big, can you start small? And can you manage your lifestyle so that you don't have an expensive lifestyle that your pocket cannot carry? Some of us are living in other people's pockets. Some of us are in a pressure to be in a certain circle or group of people, and then you're stressed. I just don't even know how that works for you. So for this, this set where our value system and our lifestyle, it starts from you having what I call a reawakening, for you talking to yourself, really being sincere. In Igbo land, we say, if you lie to everyone, you cannot lie to yourself. So be sincere. We need to do periodic evaluation of our character, of our, values, and look at where we need to improve on. What do we need to deconstruct? What do we need to pick up? Now, the second bit is life situation. Sometimes we don't have control over what life throws at us. No matter how well prepared you are, life will happen. It could happen by way of loss of job. It could happen by way of loss of loved ones. It could happen by way of, loss of your health, right? Or loss of your peace, for one thing or the other. Now, that's what you have no control over. But what you do have control over is your reaction to those things. I know it's not easy because I have been through it and I will still go through it because life would happen. Now, when such thing happens, how do you cope with such things, with such stress when they happen to you? The first thing is to understand where you are, understand your reality. Now, when you live in denial, you run a risk of, building up more stress, doing things what you're not supposed to do, pressuring yourself unnecessarily, putting pressure on other people around you. So the first thing for you to understand is, what is my situation right now? And then you do a very honest evaluation. What can I do? What do I have in my hands? And the truth is, when you get to the point where there are certain things you cannot change, you just have to go through the process. And that's why I say it starts from the mindset. When you understand that there's certain things you cannot, if you lost a loved one, no matter how you cry, no matter how you grieve, it's not going to bring that loved one back. But no one is saying don't cry or don't grieve. But now you are, centering your emotions that, yes, I'm going through this process, but I'm going to come out of this process. There's always a light at the end of the dark tunnel. It helps. It really helps. Then the other thing is having a support system. Having a support system. When you have support systems that can hold your hands, no matter what you're going through, it's a plus. So find people whose values align with yours. Find people who understand what you're going through, because another form of stress is when you're going through life. When I mean life, situations, right? Or challenges, and then you are being made to explain. Because sometimes you can't even find words to explain what you're going through. You can't. And so you want people around you who understand you, who are not willing to be questioning you up and down. It's just enough to say, hey, I got you. What do you want? What do you need? Not asking you to rehash or recap or whatever. I recall when I lost my elder brother, right? And some persons will call me and, oh, I'm so sorry ahead of, your loss. You take it easy, be encouraged in the Lord and all of that. Then I'll find some people come and asking me, hey, how did it happen? And it depends on the stage of, grief you are in. That question can trigger you. For me, why are you asking me how did it happen? There was, I think, when the grief was so fresh, that triggered me. Why are you asking me how did I should start? So if 10 persons call you and ask me how did it happen, it's triggering, right? For certain kinds of people. For me, it was triggering. So you also need to know what triggers you and to be able to say, please, I don't want to talk about this now. Or say, can we talk about something else? Being able to put your feelings into words sometimes, even if it's not a whole lot, but you say, do you know what, I'm not comfortable speaking about this now. I just need some space. I will let you know. Being able to express what you feel. You want some space, let people know you want some space. So you're not under that stress of having to put up a front, right? You don't have to put up a front and make them feel, okay, she's handling it well. You don't have to do all of that. It's not necessary, right? So let people who are around your support system know what you need, and they can help you manage the others. So having solid support system, being able to express what would work for you, also helps to manage that stress. And then sometimes just taking some time out, to breathe. Just taking some time out to breathe helps. Sometimes refocusing your direction or your energy on something else. So the key thing here is find the strategy that works for you and do it. There is no one cap. There's no one size cap that fits all situations. You know how unique you are. You know your emotions. You know what works for you. So I would say really understanding who you are helps to manage stress. Now, one of the things I've also found about myself is when I start going, I just know that listen is here. So, Joy, you need to step back. You need to step back and just breathe. So you don't have to keep pushing. You're not in competition with anybody. You have nothing to prove. If you're tired, you need to rest. And not having enough sleep and rest impacts on your ability to manage and cope with stress. So catching enough rest and sleep impacts. When you don't sleep well, when you don't rest well, it also impacts on your ability to cope with stress. Very little thing, you become overwhelmed. Very little thing, you become overwhelmed. So you also need to build your resilience muscle. So for some of us, we get stressed. Every little thing is stress. In this day and age where we talk about mental health a lot, very little thing we're having mental health issues. So you also need to know when you're positioning yourself, to receive a lot of stress. Then you want to mind what you say yes to. My dear, you say yes to every opportunity, whether some opportunities are good, yes, but is it really helping you? Is it what you need at that point in time? So you need to build the ability or the capacity to say, no, this is good, but this is not what I need right now. You can do a rain check on it. You're not under any obligation to attend all the events. And if you live in our climate, there are always weddings, there are always birthdays, there are always anniversaries, there are a whole lot of things happening. And if you're at that point where you're managing your finances, then you don't want to put yourself in situations where you have to show up in ways that will stress you. You owe nobody that responsibility to start explaining what is up with you. You help yourself to manage that stress. So if you know things that will make you spend more than what you have, kindly decline. It's enough to say, oh, I can't attend this right now, but my thoughts and prayers are with you. You don't have to give funds if you don't have the funds to give. You have nothing to prove. So, because sometimes we think that for everyone that comes seeking for assistance, we are obligated to. If you don't have, then you can't. Now, if you're married and you have children, you have a family, they're your first responsibility. It becomes very responsible for you to take the resources meant to cater for your family, and then you're putting it out there to buy a shebi or to go to one thing or the other when you know it's going to eat deep into your resources. So you need to get comfortable with saying no. So I'm saying that learn to use the power of no. That's one way to manage stress. Learn to use the power of no. Now, in terms of anxiety, sometimes we overthink, we overassume a lot. And you need to ask yourself the critical question: what am I most afraid of that will happen? What is the worst case scenario? When I had my daughter Daisy and I found out that, she was diagnosed with the brittle bone disease, a condition that affects every aspect of her life, from the fracturing of bones to how overall, her overall lifestyle, I got myself into so much anxiety that I became depressed. Now I was just worrying over things that may not happen. And really, most of them did happen. Yes, some of them did happen because I was worrying about, how will I manage the fractures? How will I do, just a whole lot of things. But in a few months, she's going to be 20 years. And most of my worst fear never did happen. I recall sometimes I would just take my chair, place beside her bed, I will sit and be watching her because I was afraid that, she may stop breathing and all of those kind of stuff. So there are different things that gives us anxiety. Until the day I got to the point where I said, so Joy, what is the worst thing that can happen? Really? What is the worst? And then I had to start walking backwards from there. And as a believer, one of the things I would also share is faith in God is also one thing that helps us to find balance in all of these crises. It helps to manage your emotions, trusting in God, trusting in someone, something, that is higher than you gives meaning to your life. And for me as a Christian and as a believer, I trust in the Creator God, knowing that according to Jeremiah 29:11, that He has a plan for me, a plan of good and not of evil to bring me to an expected end. And I need to trust that. So when I do trust that, and trust that in Jeremiah 33:3, He says, I should call on Him and He will answer. He will show me great and mighty things that I do not know. That is a consolation for me. And so when things come, I just say, girl, what do you need to do? So it's either I start taking it a day at a time. I don't want to move forward because moving forward will give me so much anxiety. So I will say, Joy, for today, for me, the Lord's Prayer, our daily bread, is something I have unpacked to mean daily bread, not just for sustenance, daily bread even for actions, daily bread for decision making. So I mustn't even think beyond today. I want to trust God to carry me for that. Even just trying to make decisions and choices for today is a huge responsibility. That doesn't mean I'm not planning for the future, but I'm content to let God handle a number of things in that kind of situation. So there are certain situations you will go through. It will be more comforting to just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, trusting in God, right? Now, sometimes we give ourselves too much speed. So some way of managing your anxiety and your stress is to slow down. You're not in competition with anybody. In Igbo language, we say, what does that mean? Simply means that when you translate that adage, it means whenever you wake up is your morning time. So if it is 4 p.m. and I've been sleeping all through and I woke up by 4 p.m., it's my morning, right? So you don't have to keep measuring yourself with some other person. So this thing about comparing yourself, this thing about wanting to be like the next person, this thing about having a success frame, that is dependent on somebody else, is where some of the stress and the challenges come from. So I will tell you that, first of all, define what growth means to you. Define what success means to you, so that you're not defining it based on someone else's standard. You're not defining your life journey based on someone else's life journey. When you learn to slow down, take it one step at a time, and just trust yourself and trust the journey, a number of things that you go through will become easier, will become a whole lot easier. Stop comparing, stop competing, rather start collaborating. Start collaborating. And if you make up your mind that no matter what, the joy of the Lord will be your strength, you will find ways of ensuring that you remain focused and grounded. So find activities that make you happy. Find activities that can take yourself so focused on the challenge, so focused on the barriers, that you begin to lose hope, you begin to lose your joy, and you just keep working yourself up. Now listen, life will happen. Just tell yourself, Joy, life will happen. No matter how well prepared I am, Joy, life will happen. Now when life happens, what do you want to do? Who is going to be your corner that can hold your hands? Who would hold your hands through that situation? Identify them, and when it happens, don't be too afraid. Don't feel too big to reach out and say, you know what, I need help. If somebody asks you, how are you doing? Those in your comfort zone, those who are your support system. I'm not okay. Why are you not okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Share what you're comfortable with sharing. But it's not nice when you cannot express yourself even to those who have a safe space where you can pour out. it is very dangerous when you keep soaking everything in, you keep putting everything in. When you keep it in and keep internalizing it, it keeps expanding, it keeps expanding, it keeps expanding, and before you know it, you would explode. You know, implode. When we say something, there's an imploding happening, and you don't want that to happen to you. So, what are some of the micro routines you want to put in place? Consistency and routine help you to maintain balance, helps you to maintain consistency, and even helps your emotions. So, being drawn at all, you're being drawn left, right, and center has a way of destabilizing. So, there are certain things you want to put in place, some routines you want to do every day that can help you to maintain some balance. You don't just want to be jumping all around. So, I would advise you today, can you try and look at some healthy routines you can put in place, which may include some form of exercise, some form of reflection, meditation, some kind of listening to music, watching movies, hanging out like we are doing tonight. So find some routine you can put in place that can keep you balanced, that can keep your hope up. So once you take away hope, you start feeling helpless and hopeless. So we don't want you to get to that point. Now, there's a lot of things happening in the digital space that we are consuming a lot. You should practice digital detox. Currently, there's some channels I don't watch. I don't want to even call their names. So there are periods I'm going through certain things. There's certain channels I will not watch because they just trigger me. So you need to know what works for you. And then sometimes take time off the media space and just center yourself. Because some of this news you're getting here, you're getting there. I don't know about you, but some of us are like that. They'll see this bad news here, seeing this one. It has a way of affecting your emotions, what you consume on a daily basis. Unconsciously can impact on your emotions, unconsciously can impact on your stress level. So find time to detox periodically. Detox from everything media, sometimes from even people, sometimes for certain kinds of food. So you can detox from a number of things. It's not just, food detox. You can do media, digital detox. You can do relationship detox. So find things you can detox from that can help you center, help you, be in tune with yourself. This is very, very important, right? And I want you to reflect now and use the comment. I want to hear from you, really. What are some of the strategies that you've put in place? So, because like I said, we all go through stress at one point in time or the other. So what are some of the things you found to be helpful? Please use the comment section and put in there. I want to read from you. We're all learning. And of course, I'm sure that our tribe also wants to read from you because we want to share experiences and see what can help us. I don't like to say that we're in the T-pain era because that by itself is a stressor. I was talking to someone today and, we're having she said, that everywhere is so stressful and painful. And I said, you see, your mindset is part of the problem. I don't want to believe this. I said, let's change our mindset that there is abundance. What we're going through is momentary and there is always a way out. That once we begin to see, we begin to find, tell ourselves that there would always be a way out, and then it's not the T-pain. It was already just acknowledge that there is T-pain here and there. You start feeling pain. It's psychological. So let's also, detox the words we say. Let's also do that detox of the words. Watch what you profess, right? This is very, very important. And one of the things I also do that helps me is journaling. I love to, take stock of where I am. And I usually do this late at night. In fact, after my prayers, one of the things I do before I go to bed, I will just review what happened during the day, what were my high points, my low points, and then I will ask, okay, what made me feel so happy about this? What made me feel so sad? What made, sometimes you have a mood swing, and I want to, understand what made me go from high to low. Is also part of knowing you. And every day you sleep and wake up, you evolve. So the you of yesterday is not the you of today. So when you keep engaging yourself as if, I know myself very well with the knowledge you have of yourself yesterday, you might find yourself running into troubled waters. So find some ways that you can also emotionally detox. Maybe listening to worship music, inspirational music, cool music, jazz, journaling. So find what works for you. Journaling is one healthy thing I would ask, if you've not studied, get a journal. Get a journal and just keep track. You want to watch patterns and see what works for you. Okay? We're going to take a break right now. We're wrapping up, and once we come back, we're going to wrap up. Now, I want you to use the comment section. Tell me what are some of the key takeaways you've had from this session. So, what one thing are you going to leave this session with? But if you have more than one, please do share. Use the comment section and let us know what are the key takeaways from this session. What is the value of the conversation we've had tonight? Don't go anywhere. Just use the comment section. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome to Power Woman Book. This book is designed to empower and inspire women to reach their full potential. As a woman who has navigated her own journey of self-discovery and growth, and also the author of the book, I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you. In this 2-minute review, I'll explore the 8 chapters that will help you unlock your power and live your best life. Our journey begins with understanding forgiveness, balancing emotions, and overcoming obstacles. We'll discuss the importance of self-awareness, resilience, and determination in chapters 1 to 3. In chapters 4 to 6, we explore what it means to be a power woman, transforming your mindset and staying focused on your goals. You'll learn strategies for building confidence, overcoming fear, and achieving success. Now, in chapters 7 to 8, you'll get to be inspired to persevere through challenges and take the leap towards your dreams. You'll discover the power of resilience and determination in overcoming obstacles and achieving your goals. Now, remember that being a power woman is not just about achieving success. It's about living a life that is true to who you are. I hope this book will inspire you to tap into your power and live the life you desire. Take the next step towards unlocking your power and living your best life. Get ready to unleash your power and live the life you've always dreamed of. Grab a copy of the Power Woman book today. Okay, welcome back. And yes, that's the Power Woman book. Part of what we're talking about today, you can find it in the book. How to cope with stress, how to manage anxiety, how to live your best life. So I would really recommend the Power Woman book. And we have the link in the comment section. So just click. You could get a digital version, or if you want a hard copy, we could always, for a token, send, your copy after purchase to you wherever you are. So your Royalist says, what I do when I'm stressed is using my phone to listen to inspirational messages and music. It helps me a lot. Thank you so much, Royalist, for sharing this. So, listening to inspirational music and messages, she says it helps her. So you could also try this as well. Chinelo says, detoxing is important because it helps your body and mind feel fresh and clean. It's like hitting the reset button so that you can have more energy. So you can have more energy, focus, and just feel more better. That's just it. So that's why I said you should learn how to detox. You should just, when you say detoxification, the short form is detox. You're taking away the toxins. So it's not just food or drugs that can give you toxins. Too much consumption of, digital information, music, so many things can, create a kind of toxin level in your system that you need to take off. Emotionally, spiritually, you need to detox. So it helps you reset. It helps you feel fresh. Thank you so much, Chinelo. Thank you so much, Idea, for sharing. And please keep it coming in. We want to see how it helps you. So in summary today, we have looked at stress, some of the coping strategies, the importance of having your own mechanism or strategies for managing stress and anxiety. And Rosemary Chioma says, one step at a time. This is very important. You're not in competition with anyone. One step at a time. I want us to practice an exercise before we finally wrap up. Now, wherever you are, I want you to just center yourself. Can you find a seat? If you're standing, can you stand, upright, no slouching, and just make sure your feet is firmly on the ground. If you're sitting, feet on the floor, firmly on the floor, your hands on your laps if you're sitting, and if you're standing, put your hands by your side. And if you can, I want you to just close your eyes. Close your eyes. This is just a 60. Close your eyes, and I want you to take a very deep breath. Take a deep breath. Yes, that's it. Take a deep breath and count to 60. Take a deep breath. 60 seconds. Take a deep breath. Count to 60 seconds. Take it in. Very deep breath. Take it in through your nose, not your mouth. Some of us breathe through our mouth. Take it in through your nose. Very deep breath through your nose. And then you release it through your mouth. You release it. Open your mouth, your nose, just release it. It's a very powerful exercise that helps you to just imagine you're releasing the stress, the tensions, everything. I've learned to do this when I'm so stressed. I will just take a deep breath, close my eyes, and center myself. And I will imagine me taking in everything around me that is causing me so much pain, so much anxiety. And then I'll open my mouth wide. Sometimes I make a loud noise and I push it all out. You can do this as many times as possible. And I tell you, it can help you feel good. Something as just simple as this relaxation exercise goes a long way. So I hope you found value tonight. Please, if you've done that, help us share this, invite family, friends to join us, and don't forget to share this episode. And you can come back and watch the replay. It's also very helpful. So thank you all. Thank you to my team in the studio that has helped us throughout, to even navigate the network and all of that. Thank you for staying tuned with us. And we continue the conversation next week, right? Next week, Friday is another time out with us. So I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. God bless and keep you. And remember to make out time to smell the roses. Don't forget to do this exercise. Don't forget to journal. And of course, don't forget to manage the stress. If you can, please note down what are your triggers, what are some of your high stressors, and then find ways of managing this stress. Just know that is one step at a time. You're not in competition with anybody but yourself. Okay? I love you, I appreciate you, and I celebrate you. I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. From myself and team, it's bye for now. Enjoy your Friday night, and I'll see you next week, Friday. Are you ready to unleash your power and achieve greatness? Join our exclusive 5-week virtual transformational program, Dare to Dream. Unleash your power and discover your true potential. This program is designed for ambitious and visionary women and men who dare to dream big and achieve success. Whether you're an emerging leader, a visionary entrepreneur, or a purpose-driven individual, this program will help you unlock your strengths, build confidence, and lead with purpose. Through our 8-module program, you'll gain personal growth and development, leadership skills and confidence, business strategies for explosive growth, tools to overcome obstacles and achieve lasting success, holistic well-being. Our program structure is designed to support your growth and success. You will enjoy interactive weekend live classes, self-paced learning at your own convenience, a transformational experience that will help you achieve your goals and dreams. Do not miss this life-changing opportunity. Apply now and dare to dream big. Our program is limited to ensure a personalized and supportive experience. Do not let this chance slip away. Join us today and start achieving greatness. Now here's what you will learn in our 8 modules. How to unleash your strengths and ignite your personal brand. How to lead with purpose and build confidence. You also get to master business strategies for explosive growth, nurture mind, body, and soul for sustained success, and much more. So apply now and start your journey towards achieving your goals and dreams. Use this link to learn more and to register for the program. Dare to dream big and unleash your power. Join us today.